As you know, last September, we were in New York. The General Assembly voted for endorsing the two-state solution implementation. The New York Declaration was approved by 142 countries. By now, 160 countries recognize Palestine as a state. So we want to build on this. And we know that Gaza has delayed this project, but we are determined to deal with the issue of Gaza in terms of dealing with the needs of our people, but also in a way that will ensure, at the end of the day, that Gaza, West Bank, including East Jerusalem, is unified as one state, independent and sovereign for our people to live in dignity and respect. So for us, first things first. For me, out of this plan, 20 points plan, the most important priority for us is what's happening for our people in Gaza today. And unfortunately, this issue, despite the fact that 4 months have passed since the ceasefire, people are still dying every single day. People are still dying. More than 450 people in Gaza have been killed since the ceasefire. So, yes, there is a ceasefire, but the ceasefire is not fully observed because of the Israeli military actions. But assuming that we have made progress on this, the next important thing is to open the borders to bring in as much humanitarian assistance as possible. It's improving, but we are not there yet. But I want to highlight another dimension of this that's critical to the livelihood of our people in Gaza, which is the temporary shelter. Mm-hmm. People will wait for a full reconstruction of Gaza. It has been destroyed. 85% of all infrastructure and houses were destroyed. People can wait until that is fixed. People can wait until universities are rebuilt and reopened. But people cannot wait on a temporary shelter, simple temporary shelter, to sit as a family together and start dealing with their lives. So my first plea to everybody is let's focus on what matters first. Mm-hmm. Let's open the borders, get Israel to bypass this doctrine called dual use, and allow as much temporary housing units as possible so that our people who are displaced can live decently, in a decent fashion until we deal with the other issues. So my message therefore is let's move fast on things that matters for our people. Temporary shelter is critical. After that, we need to deal with the security issue, with the governance issue, with the reconstruction issue, economic recovery issue, and then hopefully reaching to reunification between Gaza and the West Bank, and then hopefully end all of this by the end of the interim period of 2 years, end with one Palestinian state, with one governance system, one law, one security system, and finally, hopefully, Palestinians can live like everybody else in freedom and peace.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you. Help us understand how will that work, the link between your government and then there is a structure of the Board of Peace. How shall we understand it?
Well, currently it seems that we have the Board of Peace as the first layer, the top layer. That's the one that's been talked about these days. And there is a layer below that, which is called the Executive Council or the Executive Board. And then below that, there is a Palestinian committee made of professionals, technocrats, experts in their fields who will help run things on the ground. So that's the structure of the Board of Peace. Now, our government, although we don't have full control in Gaza because of the current Israeli occupation and before that Hamas control, but we have many ministries and agencies working on the ground. So we're not like about to start a new thing. We want to work with the Board of Peace, with the Executive Board, and with the committee to ensure that they do their part of things. But we also want to see our government institutions to continue to operate, work with the committee, provide support and enabling environment so that they can do what they can, but also prepare, as I said, for the reconstruction effort. We have been working very hard with UN institutions, with World Bank, with the European Union to be as ready as we can for the early recovery and reconstruction. We have detailed plans ready for early recovery work and for the reconstruction work. In addition to that, we will also start working on the governance aspect, and we already started the work with UNDP, with the government of Germany and the government of Norway, who offered their support to our effort to start immediately working on revamping the institutions in Gaza, reunifying what we have in Gaza, improving its capacity, but also, as I said, reintegrating with the West Bank. So the priority for us is to work with, I guess the Board of Peace will be at a higher level, probably will not work so closely with them, but they probably will focus more on the fundraising aspects, as they call it. But below that, the Executive Board, which has a number of distinguished people, including Nikolai Meridionov, which you and I know very well from the past. Nikolai will be like the high representative on behalf of this Executive Board, and he will be working hopefully closely with the government and with the committee to ensure that the basic services are restored and the reconstruction efforts start.
And how important are the neighboring countries, for example, Egypt and Jordan, in helping this process, hopefully in a positive direction?
Well, Jordan and Egypt are not just contributors to this. They are key stakeholders in this process. They have always been there for us as Palestinians, and they continue to do so. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the leadership of Egypt and Jordan for their support. Of course, many others in the region, including Saudi Arabia, and many other countries have been great supporters of our efforts. And I want to thank all of them, all countries in the region, for their support. But their role in the next phase is also very critical. Things are quite complicated, as we all agree. And there are so many things has to be done right so that we can hopefully get to the success that we all are aiming for. It's not straightforward to go and rebuild Gaza. It's not going to be straightforward to secure Gaza. It's not going to be easy to get the funding necessary as long as the Israeli military is still on the door and can come back anytime, close the border anytime, and decide what happens and what doesn't happen. So there are a lot of challenges. Neighboring countries are critical to ensure that continuing support for the Palestinian people on the ground. Egypt is a neighboring country next door for Gaza. It's the only open entry point today for Palestinians with the rest of the world. So the role of Egypt is extremely important. We're working with Egypt and Jordan also on other issues, of course on the political front, but also on the security front. They have in the past trained our security forces, and they will do more in the future so we can rebuild the security system in Gaza. So we are already working with them on that. We're already working with Egypt on the reconstruction effort, and we're also working with Saudi Arabia on many other things, several other things, including the reform program, and that's also critical for us. But